It's the NIO covered call watch party. Hey everybody, this is Pokey's Revenge. We're back with another 5-year, $500 Rags to Riches series episode, and let's get right into it because we got some action today. So let me go ahead and get my face out of the way, get the chart up, and you can see this is the 50K account. So we had a bit of a movement this morning on NIO. You can see it's up about 5.5% for the day, which is just coming out of this inverted head and shoulders here. So if we kick this up to maybe the 4-hour time frame, you can see it a little more cleanly. Basically, we had this channel here for a long time. 605 being the level of assignment, by the way, because it's the cost of the shares, 535, plus the premium that I collected. So 535 plus 505 is 605. But we had this nice little inverted head and shoulders that we crawled out of. And let me just kick it back to 30-minute. And you can see we're above that right now. We've reclaimed the $6 level. We've kind of had some wicks in both directions here. So we're just kind of compressing sideways. And we're going to see what that looks like on a smaller time frame here. So it looks like a shallow retrace and a push into an attempted rally for a new high, which is not making it past these wicks. So this is now a critical level here at 614. So if we can get over that, great. Otherwise, we'll just come down here. And cool part is, again, we're just going to keep making money on these covered calls. So it doesn't matter if the price goes up, sideways, or down, because we're good in either direction. So you might see here that there's $6,482.28. Well, it's going to change. We're up about 14% on the 8,400 shares that we bought, but because the 84 contracts that we sold against them are now profitable for the buyer, that means we're not profitable. So we're actually down about 50% on that. But that is an unrealized loss, and it doesn't matter because once the contract disappears, which means they either exercise it or it expires worthless, then this big red number goes away completely. So again, I don't care about this at all. It doesn't mean anything to me unless I'm trying to buy these contracts back, which I'm not. So with that said, OCGN, kind of a similar thing, right? The share price has gone up. Let me just kick this up to 30-minute. But now it's just kind of going sideways. So it went up the other day, last week, and now it's just going sideways. This is Thursday, Friday, and then today is Monday. So the contract values have gone up by 3 cents, which means we are no longer profitable on the contracts, but the shares have gone up, and it's about 3 times that amount. So I don't care. So let's just kick it back to NIO here. So yeah, I mean, this one should keep pushing. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't because we're over the $6 level now. And if we kick it up to the daily time frame, you can see as long as we can clear like the 630 range altogether, we should have a nice clean pop up to the 680s and potentially over 7. So if we get over 7, that's, sky's the limit. But at that point, I should be assigned. The reason I wanted to make this episode is because now we're over 605. So the likelihood of me having these contracts assigned when the buyer exercises them, it gets exponentially higher as the price continues to climb because from the buyer perspective, if I bought this at $55 for the contracts, I'm now up to $84 on those contracts. So now that's cool, right? That's about a 50% increase. And if I were to exercise those contracts, I wouldn't be able to get the value and the difference of premium if I were the buyer, but I would get the difference between the 550 strike price and the 614 current price, which is 64 cents per share. So I would be able to do that, but let's take it into the realm of reality here. And probably what happened is somebody bought these contracts and then they sold them for a small upsell, and then someone else bought them off of them and they just got passed around a bunch. So that's going to change the actual assignment threshold, but it's okay, right? Because we don't, the more they buy and sell, the more it gets chipped off that IV as time goes by, and theta obviously kicks over as well. So kind of works to our benefit that someone didn't just buy and hold these. All right, so I just kind of wanted to see if this was going to get assigned on camera here. I'll try to record this a little bit longer if I can. But let's go ahead and take a look at the actual Rags to Riches account because I don't want to make this a 50K account series. But I just want to demonstrate the covered call stuff in depth so that you guys can all understand them. So if we're looking at the OCGN covered calls here, you can see again the price went up and then it kind of went sideways after a little bit of volatility on Friday. This contract here, the March 15th one, the Ides of March, this expires Friday. It's down about 50% for the buyer, which means I'm up 50%. And this one here is still at break even. So the share price on OCGN is up 8.5%, and this contract here that expires a month from now is break even. So that's kind of the magnitude of growth that's needed for these things to outperform that theta, which is why so many people get burned when they buy and hold contracts because they don't realize how effective that theta is you know, if you're not more than like 45 days out on these contracts. So it can get pretty intense if you don't pay attention to that theta. And that's why most people that trade options, naked contracts specifically, just get completely destroyed because they hold them for too long. So, or the price just doesn't outperform the theta. Schwab is up. Still haven't collected my money from SFES, but that's okay because that's a guaranteed thing. It's just a matter of time. O is up, Main is up, Johnson & Johnson is up. Now this one's starting to pull down a little bit, but it's kind of just chop, right? You can see it's just kind of messy here. This is still a long-term hold in my opinion. I plan on holding this for like 3 years or so. So I don't really care about any of this noise, but I'm just going to keep DCAing into it regardless of whether it's up, down, whatever. I've already averaged up on it a couple times when I bought some shares, I think in this area last month, and then we're just going to keep going. Ladder, same thing. It's just kind of choppy, but overall it's going up, so I don't really care too much about the noise. And my NIO my NIO leap calls. If I go back to NIO here, just to demonstrate, this was up to 18. Oh, it's back to 18 now. But just that little bit of pullback, that little like 5-cent pullback, dropped it right back down to 17 cents, and that's a leap. So the IV here is a significant factor on these leaps. So you got to be careful with those as well. Now this one obviously has potential to skyrocket if it gets volume. So I'm not worried about that, and I've got 7 of them, so it'll be pretty good if it does. However, again, this is one that I plan to sell like mid-summer, so I'm not too worried about this little move right here. Even though it's a good move, I'm not worried about it. Clip and Tesla, of course, are just kind of doing their thing. Clip's pulling up pretty nicely because of the Chinese EV sector. They got some contention. And then Tesla, of course, kind of recovered a little bit after its dividend adjustment. So waiting to see where that goes. And of course, Tesla is benchmarked on Tesla, which is benchmarked on the EV sector, both domestically and foreign. So they're kind of tied together a little bit. All right, let's just kick back over to the other account. And you can see this one's up, 1% for the day. It's $35, and that's mostly because of the NIO leaps, right? The NIO leaps, it's kind of a big position here, and we also have the OCGN activity. So that's pretty nice for today. Let's kick it back over to this guy, the 50K account. I just want to see if I get a sign on that little pop. And when I say I can get a sign at any time, I mean literally any time. Like any one of these ticks could be an assignment. And that's just kind of what I'm waiting for. So I'll end this recording here, but I will update you guys next time. Or as soon as it does get assigned, I'll update it in Discord and I'll kind of walk through it on the next episode. So it could be any day, could be any minute, hour, second, millisecond, who knows? The only person that knows that for sure is going to be whoever's holding those contracts and wants to cash in. So we'll wait and see how greedy they are. My profits are going to be capped at 550 either way. So on the shares anyway. So I'll get 15 cents times 8,400, which is about like $4,600 or something. And then I'll also get the value right here. This bigger number will disappear. So I collect the $55 times 84. I keep that. And I also get 15 cents per share times 8,400 as soon as those are assigned. All right. So hopefully everyone is clear enough on those. I don't want to make this a covered call project, but I will be doing a lot of these. So I want to make sure that everyone understands them, and I kind of stress the importance of being familiar with them. And beyond that, just going back to the gym tonight. Yesterday was rest day, so it's push day today. So I'll go ahead and update that in the channel as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.